exercise on the grip swing puts muscles on the least athletic. Extension push-ups are among the toughest of the drills. As an incentive to excel, the color of the shorts the boys wear is determined by their ratings on performance charts. Some requirements for top ratings are stricter than for Annapolis plebes.
Yeah, I pull up to the spot. This shit way too fucking lit. Members only in my gang. Westside Queens is the...
Alright, YouTube, I'm gonna be telling y'all about my first day at Navy A School, more specifically Mass Communication Specialist School or Public Affairs School for the military in the Navy. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so for context, I graduated Navy boot camp on November 5th of 2022, and honestly, man, that was like the most relieving day of my life, bro. I'm telling you, being able to leave boot camp was like getting out of jail. And I remember getting there, and the girl I was with and my aunt and uncle, they all showed up, and we all went out to dinner. It was really cool to like hug my family and see them. And then I had to come back at like 8 or 9, something like that. And I came back and I checked back into boot camp. And a lot of people don't know that you don't just get to go and then just be gone for the entire weekend. You have to actually come back. So whenever we got back, we had to pack up our compartment and get all of our stuff together. It took me about an hour and a half to pack up all my stuff. And then while I was packing, I was talking to my boys, I was telling them where we're going, things like that. And we ended up bringing all of our stuff down into this room. It was like a room where we practiced firefighting. And they gave us back our phones, so I'm just chilling in there on my phone, watching movies, hanging out with my boy. And we just chilling in there from like, I don't know, midnight to 4 a.m. And then I had to get on a bus and go straight to the airport. And my girl met me at the airport, and we ended up just talking and hanging out. And we hung out the entire time I was at the airport, which was like really, really lovely. And then I met my roommates, the people who would become my roommates at the airport, and we all got each other's numbers, and we were the first people that we knew. But I met my 2 roommates while I was there, and we ended up calling the people who are supposed to come get us, and our flight ended up getting delayed like hours, like 6 or 7 hours. Chicago had really bad weather at the time. I think it was starting to snow, either that or it was snowing in Maryland. So it was really hard to, get that arranged. So I was praying the flight was getting delayed because I was hanging out with my girl. So it was like, well, I don't really mind. So that ended up happening. Then I ended up getting on the plane, and I am telling you what, man, it felt so good to leave Illinois. I was so happy. I was done with Chicago. I was done with boot camp. I was like, I do not want to go back ever. And, that's no hate towards boot camp because, it prepared me for being in the Navy. But, it was a really hard experience. And, frankly, it was the most fun I'd ever want to have again. But, people joining the Navy are going to know that. And if you are joining the Navy, I advise if you're going to boot camp, don't try to be an individual at all. Just fit in. They appoint you for being a leader. Just be a leader, do your job, get out. When you get out of boot camp, that's when everything kind of comes together. So on the flight, I got my bearing together. I got my mind right. And I was like, well, I'm going to go start A school now. And that was really, really dope because I was able to kind of like decompress and be alone on the plane. I was listening to music. I think Drake had just dropped Her Loss with 21 Savage. So that was like the best album to come out of boot camp too. I was listening. Hey, 21. It was before the meme, so it was still cool. So when I got to Ronald Reagan, which was the airport, I think all of the other people who came in with me were together as a group, and I was like, I'm going to be an individual because I was tired of being around people. I am an introvert deep at heart. I can be social, but honestly, deep down inside, I really don't like to be around people all the time. So I managed to just kind of walk by myself, and I ended up being the first one to see the people picking me up. And the people picking me up ended up becoming my friends. One was my future section leader, and the other one was one of my section mates. Now he's in my section, and I'm his section leader. But that's another story. He's a good dude, one of my friends. And they were just talking to me and telling me about what it's like being at the Navy detachment, which is how it works at Mass Communication Specialist A School. Like, you don't go with just the Navy, you go with the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, all of that. And so we ended up just talking, and he was telling me about, like, yeah, like, I wear white socks with my boots because I'm a sailor now. Like, why do I have to wear black socks only? They don't even let my feet breathe. And so, like, it's going to sound out of regs, and I don't tell any of y'all to do this, but I wear white socks with my boots, allegedly. And so, yeah, getting to A School was a really cool experience. Then we all get in this van, and we all ride back from DC to the Navy detachment on Fort Meade. And we walk in, and immediately people start, oh my God, it's new people. And there was 4 of us, so I think that's a pretty large group of new people to get at one time. And everybody was hanging out because it was somebody's birthday. So they had a cake. And so they made us, like, come in, stand at attention, and report. And then we had to say our names. And then they're like, about face. And they're like, eat the cake. And so we all got a slice of cake on our first night. And then this chief, super friendly, super helpful, he assigned us to our rooms. Me and the other 2 males in my group ended up becoming roommates. But, you know, they're great guys. One of them is downstairs working out, and the other one ended up getting BAH. So here at Mass Communication School, if you have a wife, you can, like, live in another place. Like, you go live with your spouse. So that was pretty cool. And we ended up getting the room, and I was super tired, but we didn't have much time to, like, really arrange the room how we wanted. At least for that first weekend, because we were so busy trying to get everything done. So I got in, and, you know, I put my clothes up, got some hangers. This is actually my locker right here. And we ended up putting everything in there, and it was cool. It was a little awkward at first, and people were coming to talk to us, but I mean, it just coming from boot camp, it's an adjustment. So then the next day, they took us to the store, and I got a bed set, so, like, some new blankets, some sheets, stuff like that, because I was tired of sleeping on white sheets like boot camp. I was so happy to just not be at boot camp anymore that, like, I was making the best of it. I had my phone. I went out and I ended up buying a computer, but that was not the first day. The first day, I got some cleaning supplies. We came back, we cleaned the room up, and, you know, we ended up just settling in. Then we had our briefing the next day, so they told us all the rules and procedures. Then after that, we started class. That's not what happens for everyone here, but for us, that's what actually ended up happening. So we got lucky. Some people have to wait like a couple weeks to start class, and they ended up just cleaning the Navy detachment for an ungodly amount of time for a couple weeks. So yeah. But anyway, that was my first day of A School. Again, this is just to shed light of, like, the helpfulness that I experienced at A School. Honestly, A School, for being a mass communication specialist, is, like, a great experience. Especially when I hear about how other A Schools are. Not gonna mention any specifically. I just know some of my friends from boot camp have had, like, negative experiences. So overall, I mean, I'd say my experience has gone pretty well. I really enjoy it, and I thought the MTIs were really helpful. My section leaders at the time were really helpful. So whenever you come, like, your section leader is going to be looking out for you if you are going to Mass Communication Specialist A School. So yeah, man, if you're joining and you happen to see me, actually you won't see me. I'll be gone by the time you get out of boot camp. But yeah, if you're going to Mass Communication Specialist A School, no need to worry. I'm going to do more videos about it, especially since I graduate in like a month and a half. So I'll be able to tell more stories. Right now, I try not to talk about my command too much, just because it's a little risky. But overall, it was a great experience, and I'm super happy to be here. But yeah. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I can try to give you assistance with other A schools if you have any advice. If you need any advice about that, I couldn't tell you the experiences like specifically, but I mean, I can kind of tell you what I know. Other than that, man, y'all leave a like and subscribe. Have a blessed day. Peace.